All right, y'all, gather around, because today we're diving into a life of a woman who's flipping the script on beauty standards. Do y'all know who this beautiful lady is? Diandra Forrest, model, actress, mama, and full blown powerhouse. But let's take it back to when she was born on October of 1989. Diandra was born in the Bronx, New York City, home of hip hop, of course, chopped cheese, and people who will mind your business if you ask nicely. She grew up in a family as one of 5 siblings, but here's the twist. Only she and her younger brother had albinism. So that means no melanin, pretty much. So while most of her community was rocking rich brown tones, Deandra showed up with white skin, blonde hair, green eyes, and the kind of beauty that made people pause. Full lips, wide nose, and a stare that said, "Yep, I'm different. You're welcome." Now, don't get it twisted. Looking different in a community that didn't always understand what albinism was, that was rough. Deandra realized she had albinism at just 9 years old. And from there, the teasing hit hard. You know how kids are. Kids laugh, adults stared, people even made her cry. Grown adults made her cry. Do better, y'all. Now, she did bounce around to different schools before finally landing at the New York Institution for Special Education. And that's where she met her 6th grade teacher, an African American woman with albinism. So, definitely, that was somebody that she had so much in common with. That teacher sparked something in her, and by the age of 14, she said she wanted to be a model. She graduated in 2007 and literally wrote in her yearbook, "In 10 years, I'll be walking a Victoria's Secret runway." Manifestation game went strong, y'all. Deandra didn't just break into the modeling industry, she busted it wide open. She became the first woman with albinism signed to a major modeling agency, proving any doubters, any naysayers wrong. She walked the world's biggest runways, y'all, appeared in major magazines, and even stepped into acting. But fame didn't make her forget where she came from. Deandra learned that teasing in the Bronx was nothing compared to what people with albinism go through in parts of East and Sub-Saharan Africa. In countries like Tanzania, where albinism is more common, around 1 in 1,400 people are literally hunted. They're hunted, they're harmed, or even worse. And all of this is because some people in those areas believe that their body parts have magical powers. Yes, is that serious? So Deandra in 2012 decided to fly to Africa's Fashion Week in Johannesburg, not just to strut the runway, of course, but to really shake the table. She partnered with Assisting Children in Need, helping open a safe house for children with albinism in Tanzania. So she used her platform not just for clout, but really for change. Fast forward to 2015, she welcomed her first daughter. And then 2 years later, in 2017, she welcomed her son. So now, at this point, she's a mother. In New York Fashion Week in 2012, Deandra walks the runway holding her 7-week baby girl in a blanket. But the internet, you know how this internet is, y'all. They were asking, was she breastfeeding and all of this jazz just because she brought her child, her few weeks old baby, on the runway. But she wasn't, y'all. She wasn't breastfeeding. A year later, she did post a photo of herself actually breastfeeding her daughter during a photo shoot. And she owned that moment like a boss, really, because whether she's rocking couture or a baby wrap, Deandra is going to do it her way. So by now, I'm sure you all know that Diandra Forrest is the real deal. From a Bronx kid getting stared at on the train to being a global beauty icon using her voice to protect others. She's a model, she's an actress, she's a mom, and she's an advocate. But most importantly, she's a walking reminder that being different is a superpower. It's not a setback. So whether you have albinism or you're just feeling a little too different for the crowd, take a page from Deandra's book. Wear it, walk it, own it. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in on my second episode. I'm getting better. This is new to me. I am going to drop my other YouTube channel that I have here. It's solely about my life, the person behind these voiceovers, because I know you guys never saw my face. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe if you're here for the glow ups that come with purpose. Till next time, peace.